Hello, my friends. Happy summer solstice. And a reminder, we've got friends to help you out in a jam at soulmart.me. Like our newest practitioner, Bernadette Morgan, all the way in England, helping you with a 30-minute power shot. Jam through your troubles with Bernadette. Or maybe just a quick 15-minute read with Master One Feather, our expert psychic. Or perhaps you're looking for your destiny. How about DJ David Palmer? He'll give you an astrological destiny reading, all at soulmart.me.
Soul Garden.
Hello and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Edition. I'm your host of the universe, Christopher Witecki. And I do want to remind you, we do have a home away from home. It's called soulgarden.me. If you don't have a little pasture set aside, come on down. We got office hours, we got great people, we got wonderful staff, really just to say hello and connect to you and be of resource. So come on down, there's no place like Soul Garden. Now there's a lot going on this particular month, mostly in your head, Taurus. The sun is in Cancer, and the emotional, intellectual kind of dynamic of Taurus is up in the air. To some degree, this is the year catching up with us. And for you, Taurus, it's been a hell of a year, right? Jupiter went to Taurus, and so you grew, your ego grew. I don't know about you, I fell down, came back up. It was certainly a huge year for growth, and this might be the first time your emotions are catching up to you, which for you also means you're very much in your head. Because when you're a Taurus, emotions and intellect go hand in hand. Your feelings trigger thoughts, your thoughts trigger feelings, and so you must learn to manage each separately. On the one hand, you need a policy for your emotions. On the other, you need a policy for your thoughts. And really, thoughts are what's most important, your official attitude, because emotions tend to follow thoughts by nature. Now, that said, on Monday, there's a chance of storms. Breakdown. This might be a communication breakdown. This might be not listening to yourself, not listening to others. This might just be an old mind game you slip into with worry and whatnot. But it is a Uranus day, which means breakdown. Now, the moon emotions themselves are up in Virgo, and that means that your inner child is part of this whole equation. So if you're in a good situation with the inner child, where you've been following your heart and you've been doing the heart maintenance, your inner child could be championing the way to break through, to move forward. If your inner child has been neglected, or you haven't had any fun in a long time, no joy in your staple diet, this could be what triggers the mind game or brings you down. So there's a chance of storms or temper tantrums for the bulls with all this being put together. Now, the breakthrough, which you're going for in the next 24 hours from Monday to Tuesday, is really a new context, a new approach. What is your approach going in? What is your attitude going in? Is your attitude going in that you're going to be hurt again? Is your attitude only to be this much? What is your attitude, and what is your emotional expectation or your emotional context? Are you walking in feeling like the victim? Are you walking in feeling like the hero? Are you walking in feeling like the underdog? How you walk in feeling, how you walk in thinking, this determines so much of your possibilities, and this is what the universe is trying to get you to with your breakdown. So Monday, breakdown. Tuesday, I would think breakthrough, at least figuring out what's not working. Mercury rules the day on Tuesday. The moon is still in Virgo, but on Tuesday, the moon will cross over Mars. Now, when the moon crosses Mars, this is an explosion, an emotional eruption for you focused on your heart. Hopefully, it's you falling in love. Hopefully, it's you getting the creative project. Hopefully, it's good news. If you don't or haven't worked up to that point, could be bad news, could be impatience. Point is, it's an emotional surge, okay? And this whole month is about what? How you respond to emotions. So this might be a continuation of yesterday's breakdown. The emotional surge might be the inspiration for the breakthrough, but by the course or end of the day, by sunset, I'm predicting Tauruses will have an understanding of what not to do, at least with attitude or intellectual attitude or responses. On Wednesday, Venus rules the day, so things start to restore to balance and order. On the other hand, the moon moves into Libra, so inner child is brought offline, but you do become hyper aware of health and reality on Wednesday. So you're hyper aware of your body, you're hyper aware of your health, you're hyper aware of the justice or injustices of things with the moon in Libra. Your scales are kind of lit. Now, Venus rules the day, which means we can give and receive easier than usual. And for you, this means giving and receiving to yourself in your thoughts. So sharing information, maybe being nice and peaceful to yourself might be part of it. If you're working out a negative you in your mind, if that's part of this month's transit, well, the first day of peace will probably be on Wednesday. But what's most interesting is on Wednesday, Saturn goes direct and the moon will cross over Saturn. Now, Saturn has been retrograde for about 6 months, but it has been in Libra for about 2 years almost. And it's been saying to Tauruses, you have to get your lifestyle in order and in balance. Tauruses do their best manifestation when they are in a Zen position, when they are perfectly balanced like a Libra, in the moment. Balance of health, balance of everything. It is how Earth manifests for you the best, when you're in total concert with the Earth. You know that. So, unfortunately, we have to now practice it. And so with the moon in Libra, with Saturn now direct, you will start to feel the consequences of the work you did in the retrograde, which means you are going to start to feel really groovy, or you're going to start to feel really unsettled. If you're feeling super unsettled, maybe you should look at something with the last 6 months, all right, about changing a lifestyle. So Wednesday is a day of trying to move forward with lifestyle, and our feelings, I think, take us there and probably are the source of any mind games or learning in that direction. Thursday is a Neptune day, so we're going to be spaced out. You'll be telepathic on Thursday. Thursday, the day of like picking up on what people are thinking. Thursday is a Neptune day, so if you want to get to the bottom of where your thinking started or where a certain feeling started, definitely want to do that soul investigation for yourself on Thursday. Moon's still in Libra, and you're still feeling your reality, and you're hyper aware, but it's off Saturn, and it's not that big of a deal, so you're feeling better. Most interesting fact, though, Venus goes direct in Gemini on Thursday. I thought it was last Sunday, by the way. Sorry, I was wrong. It is actually this Thursday. You gotta wait 4 more days. But Thursday, Venus goes direct, which means you will begin receiving now in soul capital. So it is time for Tauruses to make money, to feel good, and to receive. So if you did the work in the retrograde to find out why you're valuable, you'll start to see the universe reflecting that here with Venus direct on Thursday. So that's good times. Then we get to Friday. On Friday, it's actually a nice turning point. Saturn rules the day, so no matter how the week has been, feeling stronger on Friday. Saturn ruling the day means your mind is decisive. You know what to cut away from. You know what emotional response to cut away from. If you paid attention to yourself, your intellectual, emotional stuff I've been talking about, by Friday, you're decisive. One of the cool things on Friday is the moon. The moon is in Scorpio and creates a temporary soul pyramid during the course of the day. What this means is we're putting different parts of things together, and I think it's what adds up to you being strong enough to step away from an old emotion or step away from an old attitude. What it comes down to is, on the one hand, the sun in Cancer, your attitude, your thoughts, what we're working on this year. Then your feelings about relationships. Isn't that interesting? And how you relate and what is fair and what is balanced anyways. So relationships pulls you into this, or fairness pulls you into this. And then you're also intuitively trying to figure out where you belong. So where you belong, what your attitude is, and who are your people, right? It's a powerful day. And I think for you it says, you know what? I don't belong hanging out with the negative people, or I don't belong, you know, in the lower vibration. That's probably what it is. You're stepping away from some lower vibration. Then Saturn day. Saturn day is an aggressive day. Mars rules the day on Saturday, and that means you're going to want to take action. You might be a chatty Cathy. We are working on intellectual emotional this month, intellect being one of them. So getting the word out, telling everyone, it's a new me, look at me, it's a new me. I always say that. It's part of us putting into action. So that's definitely the case. You want to go ahead and take action in that regard. The moon is still in Scorpio, so this might all play out with long-term relationships. It's a good time to put yourself out there in that regard. Good time to spend time with the LTRs. So emotions in Scorpio pull you in that. Be careful not to get in a fight with that Martian energy taking action and your emotions a little sensitive at relationships. Great day to take it out on the wrong person. So careful, do not get around red color. But then Sunday, it's actually a great day on Sunday, especially for Tauruses. Moon moves into Sagittarius, which means your inner child lights up. It means that your boundaries light up. And with the moon in Sagittarius, you will be more sensitive, I think, to others or strangers or whatnot. But we have another soul pyramid that triggers on Sunday that I think gives a different roundabout of how you feel about things. Now, Taurus rules the day on that day, so bulls are feeling good anyways, you're feeling your power. The moon in Sagittarius ties into your trust and intimacy issues and your feelings of boundaries. It goes down to Mercury in Leo, which grounds you and helps you feel like where your home is, where your family is, what your castle should or shouldn't be. And then Uranus in Aries. And Uranus in Aries is really where the power point is, because by being flexible with the boundaries, with the emotions, by thinking differently about how you take care of yourself, you innovate your overall faith in yourself. So this is kind of a spiritual moment. Higher faith, different feeling of groundings, different feeling of where your trusted boundaries are. And what does it lead to? I think it leads to you holding space to the new attitude. That's what I think it does. So it's what gives you this new attitude, or what gives you the first perspective. So if you know what you don't want to think, but you're waiting to see what the right attitude is, first glimpse probably on Sunday. All right, Taurus, that's all I got for this 7-day forecast. Good luck with all that mental, emotional crap, and I'll see you in 7 days. Until then, live, love, be.